Hello, I'm Matt Minich, and this is Bengals Chalk Talk, brought to you by Narrangansett Beer. If you're like me, you needed a Narragansett after this one. This was a huge moment in the game. The Bengals defense had just really stepped up and stopped the Browns for 4 plays on the 1-yard line, and then they gave up this strip sack. The Bengals gave up this strip sack on the ensuing drive. So what happened here? All right, they brought a pressure from the right side. Now this is a half-man, half-zone protection. And here on the left side, all right, these 3 players, they're sliding to the left. And on the right side, we got Fred Johnson in man. We've got Bobby Hart in man. Now there's a linebacker here too, all right? Giovanni Bernard is going to look at that linebacker, and he's blocking him if he comes, and if he doesn't come, he'll look to the outside before possibly checking and release. Now, in this case, the Browns bring a pressure, and it's not just that they're sending the linebacker. They're also playing a game with the defensive line. Myles Garrett's actually inside. He's going to step hard towards the inside, making Fred Johnson worry about that A-gap before looping around. On the edge, Porter Gustin's going to take a step upfield and then loop to the inside. And eventually the linebacker will come as well. Now, Giovanni Bernard does a great job picking up the linebacker, kind of letting everything in front of him sort itself out. So we're going to forget about that for now. All I want to talk about is how, in man protection, the guard and the tackle can trade off with these players. All right, so let's start with Hart. Okay, Hart is pass setting on the outside. He's got to gain depth, and he's looking to protect that edge, all right? The majority of the time, he's coming off the edge. That's what he's got to protect. And that's what he's setting for. Now, as Gustin comes to the inside, Hart needs to post step back to the inside. As you can see, eventually he turns, but really by that time, Garrett's pretty much by him. He could definitely afford to step down harder and really try and get a shot on him. But he's already in a bad spot. And why is he in a bad spot? It's because of what happens to Fred Johnson, as we watch Johnson number 74 here. Johnson steps to the B gap, which is okay. I mean, it makes sense because that's where Garrett is aligned. Now, when Garrett shows that he is heading towards the A gap, when he indicates that, Fred Johnson overreacts. Ends up off balance and out of position. Now he's scrambling, right? So he's not thinking about anybody coming back. He's thinking, uh-oh, I just got the quarterback killed. So he is diving, just reaching out, trying to do anything to prevent Garrett from going. Kind of gets on his hip, but again, it's too late. All right, they both end up getting by. Gio does his job, right? Lets it sort out in front of him. Boom, blocked by Gio. But hey, there's confusion between the guard and the tackle. They don't sort it out. Strip sack, and that gives the Browns 1st and goal again. This time the Bengals defense would not hold, and that was a major turning point in this game. Well, I'm all about redemption, so we're going to go a little bit later in this game, and we're going to look at that same pair, Hart and Johnson, on the right-hand side. Okay, so they're on the right side of the offense. It's actually the left side of the screen right now. We are going to get the same game from the defensive line. No blitz this time, which is good because it's an empty backfield, but the same game from the defensive line. Watch Hart, the tackle. He sets, gaining depth as he sees the defensive end go in. He brings his eyes in, he post steps down, and he picks up the defensive tackle coming out. Very good job by Bobby Hart. Now we look at the right guard. All right, the right guard sets into the B gap. All right, now this time the guy didn't try and sell him in the A gap at all. He's able to engage on him. Reaching a little bit more than I like, but gets a shot on him anyway. And he helps Bobby Hart out by doing that. He doesn't leave him on an island. Okay, so we see that exchange. It's very nice. Then he comes off for the defensive end who's stunning inside. And look, he gets in his way. All right, that's something. What's the next step for Johnson? What's Johnson really need to do here? He gets in the right position. Now he's got to lower his hips. He's got to sink his hips down and improve his anchor because he's getting driven back into the quarterback here. He needs to improve that anchor and hold his ground better. But they did a much better job of letting it sort out this time. Now, let's take a look at the left side of the line. All right, so it's the right side of your screen, but it's the left tackle, Jonah Williams, and the left guard, Michael Jordan. All right, now here, seeing the same stunt, Jordan does a really good job with Garrett here that he gets a real good shot on him. And he really helps to pass it off to Jonah that way, right? Because he's thrown him off balance a little bit, and he's pushing him out wide where Jonah can adjust. Right? Jonah kick steps. And really, I mean, Garrett almost comes right to him. He doesn't even really, post down. Now, at the end here, though, Jordan has the defensive end coming into him, and he gets him with the pass rush move. Right? He's able to open his shoulders and get a little bit of depth. The ball's already gone, but, not a great finish here for Michael Jordan. Here we've actually got the same pass rush look going on both sides. But we're going to start with the left tackle and left guard on the right side of your screen. Again, Michael Jordan, the guard, gets a shot in. This time he gets a little bit kind of too preoccupied with it, right? He kind of gets his face in there. You can't really see what's coming at him. So as this loops to the inside, he's still kind of off balance. You see how he's kind of reaching to come back. He gets on his hip and tries to ride him, but he's pushed through. All right? Ends up being a face mask on the quarterback, so that saves the offense anyway. But, I mean, that's similar to what happened on the first rep we looked at, where he was beat and he tried to get on the hip, but at the end of the day, he was beat. And there was a clear path to the quarterback. Now, let's look at the other side. So this is different in that the other side is the zone side, the slide side of the line. So how does that look different? Okay, well now, we're starting at the right tackle, Bobby Hart. Pass sets wide. His guy comes in. What does he do? He post steps down. Does a good job here picking up that defensive tackle on the stunt. We'll look at the right guard, Fred Johnson, setting to the B gap, gets a shot, helps out Bobby Hart, doesn't leave him on an island like he did in that first rep. Hands extended, comes back, and he's in pretty good position looking to cut this guy off, but the guy takes it all the way inside, and because it's slide and they got the center there, Trey Hopkins is there. Okay, so Garrett's on the outside this time, 95, and Trey Hopkins looking to pick him up. Now, because of what's happening on the other side, basically he picks him, and Garrett's able to get through. But ignore what's going on the left side of the offensive line. All right, the right tackle, the right guard, and the center do a pretty good job exchanging this. All right, and Trey's in pretty good position that, if he's got some space there, he's not getting picked. He should be able to block him pretty well. So that takes us back to this first rep. Now, Cleveland has a good defensive line. They've got a lot of players on there, and they did very well in this game. But the dude is Myles Garrett. And right now you got the dude playing over the guard. Okay? Normally, defensive end, you get him playing over the guard. Kind of smell the rat there. You know what I'm saying? Something's cooking. Something's going on. So, I don't know if they have it built into their offense or not. They probably do. But if he could check the protection here, if he could let it slide to that side, they'd be in much better position, just like we saw in that last rep. So if they were to slide here, Hart would be here in the outside. Johnson wouldn't have taken that big step inside because he wouldn't have to worry about the A-gap. Why? Because Trey Hopkins would be sliding that direction. So he'd be in much better position here. He could get the shot in on Garrett and then pick up the looper. All right, that would allow Hart to pick up Garrett. Johnson picks up the looper. And in this case, if you flip the protection, Gio would be over here. Okay? He doesn't have to, they can flop him if they want, but he can absolutely come across after the snap, and he would be looking for a blitz from this side. And now Trey, still being on this side, will be able to pick up that blitzer as he comes. Now you've got a pocket. Now you've got a chance. So that's something that they could do to adjust when they see a talented pass rusher like Garrett in a position like that inside where you might think something's coming up, some kind of twist is coming up. Overall, the offensive line definitely needs to improve. Jonah Williams is flashing some excellent potential and should be a really good centerpiece for this line. Bobby Hart actually played pretty well against Cleveland. All right, it's one of the better games he's played. And although we need improvement at that position, if he plays that way, that's not going to be the reason that the Bengals are losing. If he can play at the level he played on Thursday night against the competition he was facing, that is not going to be the reason the Bengals are losing football games. What really hurt them on Thursday night was the interior guys. After playing a great game in week 1, Michael Jordan struggled in week 2. Trey Hopkins is one of the better offensive linemen on this team, but he struggled in the first couple of weeks. And that continued on Thursday night. Fred Johnson obviously had some notable plays like this one, and on the first drive he missed a couple of blocks as well. Once he settled in, he did play a little bit better though. He needs to work on his anchor, as we demonstrated on film, bending his knees, sinking his hips, and stopping that pass rush. Physically, putting a foot in the ground and stopping that pass rush. Once again, I am Matt Minich from Cincy Jungle. This has been Bengals Chalk Talk, brought to you by Narrangansett Beer. Thanks for checking it out today as we took a look at the Bengals offensive line picking up stunts against Cleveland. And, we looked at one major issue they had and how it is in their system and how they do have the capability to pick that stuff up. And really, like a lot of other positions on the team, what they need here is consistency with those things. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure you're checking out all the other great content on Cincy Jungle. And coming up on Sunday, an hour before kickoff, an hour before every game this season, we will have the Cincy Jungle live virtual tailgate and pregame show with myself, John Sheeran, and Anthony Cosenza. Make sure you are checking that out. Great guests, great giveaways, fan interactions, and we've got a lot of other fun things going on with that, so make sure you check it out.
Red 7, hot route!